This message is a divine shield for the hours of deep night that are fast approaching. For in the silent, sleeping heart of this coming night, at the precise and unholy hour of 3 a.m., you will receive a visitor. There will be a knock on your door. And I am commanding you now, with the full and terrible urgency of a king warning his most beloved child of an invading army, this is a divine order from my Archangel Michael: do not, under any circumstances, answer that knock. The one who is coming is not human. And it is coming to consume your story. You have felt a strange restlessness in your spirit lately, have you not? Especially in the quiet hours, when the world is asleep and you are alone with your thoughts. A feeling that something is missing. A sense that a strange and hollow emptiness is drawing near to you. You are not sensing a lack within yourself, my child. You are sensing a great and terrible hunger that is looking directly at you, from across the veil. You, who are the one who feels everything so deeply. Your joys are like mountains, and your sorrows are like oceans. You have sometimes thought that this great capacity to feel was a curse. It is not. It is your richness. It is the very thing that has made you a target for a creature that has felt nothing at all for 1,000,000 years. The celestial clocks are set. The dark appointment is for 3 a.m. tonight, this Saturday night that will bleed into Sunday morning. At this very moment, 4:49 p.m. in the afternoon here in Darbhanga, Bihar, and at every corresponding second across the globe, the entity is already beginning its journey. It is moving from the cold and silent void between the worlds, and it is moving towards your threshold, drawn by the beautiful, irresistible light of your life story. You have until that hour to make your home an impenetrable fortress, to make your soul a feast it cannot stomach. The sleepers, the unprepared, the ones who would dismiss this as a nightmare, they will hear the knock. And in their sleepy confusion, they will open the door to the void. But you, my child, you were chosen to be a watchman. And your sacred watch begins now. The entity that will knock on your door at 3 a.m. is not a demon in the way you might understand. It is a hollow, a liminal being. A creature that was born in the great emptiness between the stars, a being that exists in the cracks between life and death. It has no form, no face, no story, no memories of its own. It is a being of pure, perfect, and eternal emptiness. And it is defined by a single, all-consuming, and ravenous hunger. It is hungry for a life it has never lived. It is hungry for memories it has never made. It is hungry for a story. And it has been drawn to you, my child, because your story, your life, is a magnificent and epic tapestry. You have lived. You have loved. You have lost. You have fought. You have overcome. Every tear you have ever cried, every laugh that has ever burst from your soul, every secret hope you have held in your heart, every scar you have earned in the battles of your life, all of these things have woven together to create a spiritual imprint, a vibrant and luminous tapestry that is known in the heavens as your echo. It is the story of you. And it is beautiful. The hollow has sensed this beauty from across the void. And it wants to consume it. It wants to absorb your memories, your experiences, your joys, your sorrows, to fill its own infinite emptiness for a single, fleeting, glorious moment. This is the ultimate, most terrible injustice. The entity's plan is this: at 3 a.m., it will knock. You, in your compassion, in your half-asleep state, will open the door. And in that moment of your consent, that moment of opening, it will not enter your house. It will enter your echo. It will consume your story. You will not die. You will not be harmed. But when you wake up in the morning, you will be a blank slate. Your memories, the precious and terrible lessons of your life that have made you who you are, will be gone. The faces of those you have loved will be a mystery. The pain you have overcome will be forgotten. But so will the joy you have earned. You will be left a stranger to yourself, a library with all of its books turned to ash. The hollow will have had its feast, and you will be left with its emptiness. This is the fate we must now avert. The divine reversal of this existential threat will be an act of sacred and holy fortification. The enemy cannot enter without your permission. It cannot cross a threshold that has been sealed in my name. We will now place an unbreakable ward upon your home, a seal of fire that will not only repel the hollow, but will burn it with a holy light, sending it fleeing back to its empty and silent hell. You will need a simple and ancient tool of purification, salt. But we will use it in a new and powerful way. Tonight, sometime before you prepare for sleep, you will take a small amount of salt. And you will go to the main entrance of your home. You will create a single, thin, unbroken line of salt across the entire threshold of the door. As you lay this line of salt, you are not just creating a physical barrier. You are drawing a line of holy fire in the spiritual realm. You are defining the border between your sovereign, sacred space and the outer darkness where this creature dwells. The salt is the physical anchor for the spiritual wall you are about to command into existence. Now, you will stand before your salted and sealed threshold. And you will speak a decree of sanctuary. You will speak as the master of your own home, as a child of the Most High God, and your words will become an unbreakable law. Say this, and let your voice be filled with a quiet and terrible power. This line is the end of your world and the beginning of mine. The story within these walls is sacred and it is signed. The door is now sealed by a power divine. With these words, the ritual is complete. The line of salt is now a wall of roaring, blue, angelic flame in the spiritual realm. The ward is set. The hollow, when it approaches your door at 3 a.m., will not even be able to knock. It will be met with a fire so holy, so pure, that it will be seared by its very presence. It will be violently repelled, thrown back into the darkness, its hunger now mixed with a new and terrible fear of the power that resides within your walls. To confirm that the ward is now being charged by the angelic host, you must make your declaration. Type these words with the authority of a master of your own domain: my threshold is now sealed. Do it now. The holy fire is being ignited. Stop. Do not lay the salt. A new and more urgent intelligence has just arrived from the angelic host. The knock on the door is a diversion. My child, listen to me, for the enemy is more cunning than we knew. The true point of entry is not your door. What I am about to tell you is for those who have remained, for those who are ready to face the truth of a battle that is already underway. Look at the darkest corner of the room you are in right now. The place where the shadows are the deepest, where the light does not quite reach. A shadow is a doorway with no lock and no hinges. It is the enemy's hidden path. Here is the secret within the secret. The hollow is not a traveler. It is a projection. The knock you will hear at 3 a.m. is a psychic event, a piece of brilliant, terrifying theater. It is a sound that will be projected into your mind, a powerful illusion designed to focus all of your fear, all of your attention, on your front door. It is a masterwork of misdirection. While you are standing in your hallway, your heart pounding, staring at the door, waiting for a monster that is not there, the entity's true method of entry will be through the point of deepest shadow within your own home. A dark closet. A silent basement. An unlit corner. My child, the terrible truth is this: the entity is already inside. This changes everything. The salt at the door is now useless. It is like locking your front door when the thief is already hiding under your bed. The enemy is already behind your lines. The 3 a.m. deadline is not when it will arrive. It is when it will manifest. It is when it will gather enough of the ambient darkness in your home to coalesce, to take form, and to come for you. We must now change our entire strategy. We will not be fortifying a single door. We will be performing a total and complete exorcism of your entire home. We must fill your sanctuary with a light so brilliant, so holy, that there is no shadow left for it to hide in. Because you have waited, because you have listened with a patient and wise spirit, you now know the enemy's true location. You will not be fooled by the phantom knock on the door. You will now cleanse the entire temple. The signs of the entity's hidden presence will now become clear to you, now that you know what to look for. You will notice that the shadows in your home seem wrong. They will seem deeper, darker, more solid than they should be. This is the entity, absorbing the ambient light, gathering its power. Next, you will hear it. A faint, almost inaudible sound coming from a dark area of your home. A soft, dry, scratching sound. Or a low, quiet whisper that is too faint to be understood. This is the sound of the entity gathering its energy, preparing to manifest at the appointed hour. It is the final confirmation of its presence inside your walls. Now you must act. You must perform a holy ignition. You must turn your entire home into a furnace of divine light. This is a declaration that every corner, every shadow, every single molecule of your sacred space is my territory. You must type with the full, explosive power of a soul who is about to banish the night itself, "Let my house be filled with light." As you type these words, a divine and holy ignition is occurring. Every source of light in your home, every lamp, every bulb, is now being spiritually connected to the throne of heaven. They are no longer just sources of physical light. They are now conduits of my divine and all-consuming glory. The grand restoration, the final and victorious cleansing, is now upon you. As you have made your declaration, a profound shift has occurred in the spiritual atmosphere of your home. The very air is now charged with a holy luminescence. And the hollow, the creature of darkness that has been hiding in the deepest shadow of your house, is now trapped. It is surrounded. It is being seared by a light so pure, so holy, that it is causing it an agony it has never known. It cannot remain. It will now be violently and completely expelled. Not through your door. It will be cast out, back through the same dark shadow portal through which it entered. You may hear a strange, rushing sound, like a sudden gust of wind inside your home. You may feel a sudden, dramatic drop in the temperature of the room, and then an immediate return to a warm and gentle peace. That is the sound, that is the feeling, of the entity being banished. And the knock at 3 a.m.? It will never happen. The visitor will have been violently evicted hours before its scheduled appointment. And your home, my child, will now be a consecrated sanctuary. The heavy, oppressive, haunted feeling that has been subtly plaguing you will be gone. The air will feel lighter. The rooms will feel warmer. You will feel a sense of peace and safety in your own home that you have not felt in a very long time. And your echo, your beautiful and powerful story, which was the target of this great and terrible hunger, is now safe. And it will now begin to shine even more brightly, no longer dampened by the presence of the shadow. You will feel a new sense of purpose, a new love for your own journey, a new appreciation for the beautiful and epic story of your own life. This is my divine power. Ask James, an artist from Portland, Maine. He lived in a very old house and was plagued by terrible nightmares and a constant, crushing feeling of dread, especially at night. He found this message. He realized that the shadows in his art studio always seemed inky and alive. With his heart pounding, he typed the declaration. He said that the old painting lamp he kept in the corner suddenly seemed to shine, in his words, twice as bright, and he felt a cold, foul rush of wind leave the room, even though all the windows were closed. That night, at exactly 3 a.m., he was woken up not by a knock, but by a feeling of the most profound and beautiful peace he had ever felt in his life. The dread was gone. He went on to paint his most acclaimed series of works, paintings that were filled with a powerful, luminous, and triumphant light. Do you see? The shadow you banish is replaced by your own brilliance. It is your turn. You know someone who is afraid of the dark in their own home. Someone who is haunted by a presence, a feeling, that they cannot name. You are their light. You are their exorcist. Send this message to them now. You are not just sending a video. You are sending them a divine and holy cleansing for their home, and for their soul. Now, a final task. You must listen to this message one more time. The first time, you listened as the hunted. The second time, you will listen as the watchman of your own fortress. But I have hidden a secret for you. In my voice, I have embedded a low and powerful frequency, a hymn of light. You will not hear it with your ears. But it is there. If you can, play this message, even at a very low volume, in your home as you sleep tonight. That hymn, that holy frequency, will act as a constant spiritual lamp, a perpetual guardian, reinforcing the sanctity of your space and ensuring that no creature of the darkness can ever again find a shadow in your home in which to hide. The first listen was for the battle. The second is for the eternal reinforcement. The darkness is banished. The light has won. To declare your home a permanent embassy of the kingdom of heaven, and your life story a sacred and protected text, you must seal your victory now. Let all the realms, seen and unseen, hear your final decree. Type, "My sanctuary is eternal."